Hello and welcome to i-nastava. This is English lesson for the third grade high school. Our topic today is what is your point of view? My name is Livija Pribanić and I will be your teacher in this lesson. Together through different activities, we will try to differentiate between facts and opinion. We will also work on active listening. What are the characteristics of active listening and how to apply the strategies of active listening to make your communication more successful. Before we start with our lesson today, please have your notebook and writing utensil ready. You can use pen or pencil. Also, don't forget that you can pause the video at any point. Are you ready? Let's start. We will begin our lesson today with a quote by Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher. He said, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." Let's stop for a second. Think about the quote. Is it really so? How does this relate to real-life situations? Is it really an opinion, everything we hear? And is everything we see only our perspective? Let's put it to the test. This is a simple activity. I would like you to describe the photo that you are looking at right now. What do you see? Pause the video and write down sentences in your notebooks. And now you see a bit more, so please add to your list, add to your description. Here is the whole photo. Now please pause the video again and finish the description of the photo. We could group your sentences into two categories, facts and opinion. Facts are that based on what we saw in the photo, it is a shop. They probably sell electrical devices. There is a bike in front of the shop, and there are two women in the photo. We could also add details about their clothes. Opinion, on the other hand, is that the shop looks shabby, that one of the women rode the bike, and that the woman selling herbs is poor. We are not sure about this. We base this on our beliefs, so this is only our perspective. And now try it again. Try to describe this photo and divide your sentences into facts and opinions. Pause the video and write down as many facts as you can, and then add your opinions as well. Here is another activity, just to practice. Read this text and read it carefully. After you have read it, decide which parts of the sentences are facts and which are opinion. Pause the video now and decide what is fact and what is opinion. Let's check together. Facts, opinions. Facts are, they say tornadoes form on every continent except Antarctica, and this funnel-shaped wind can destroy a house. Opinions are, tornadoes are scary, these clouds are amazing works of Mother Nature, and being a storm chaser would be an awesome job. Well done! From the beginning of our lesson today, we focused on how important it is to pay attention to what we hear and to what we see. If we compare it to the learning cone by Edgar Dale, we add more importance to it. According to the learning cone, we remember, we learn 50% of what we see and hear. This is very important. We remember 20% of what we hear, but 50% of what we see and hear. That is why listening is very important. But hearing does not mean listening. There is a huge difference when we listen to something and when we only hear something. Let's focus on listening. Being an active listener is a skill that can be learned. This is very important because very often we only hear what others are saying. We also engage in conversations by adding comments. But are we actually listening to what others are saying? In the next activity, you will listen to a short text. While listening, write down the tips for improving your listening skills. Write down what should be avoided if you want to be an active listener. Get ready.
Talking and exchanging pieces of information is a necessity for all of us. Personally, I couldn't imagine a day without talking to my family members and friends. I just must share. But what really annoys me is when I'm not listened to. It's rather easy to know that, really. Are you familiar with the following situation? You're so enthusiastically retelling what has just happened to you, and your listener interrupts you all the time. Hello, are you even listening? Or they ask you a million questions about details, missing the big picture. This means they aren't listening. Talking and exchanging pieces of information is a necessity for all of us. Personally, I couldn't imagine a day without talking to my family members and friends. I just must share. But what really annoys me is when I'm not listened to. It's rather easy to know that, really. Are you familiar with the following situation? You're so enthusiastically retelling what has just happened to you, and your listener interrupts you all the time. Hello, are you even listening? Or they ask you a million questions about details, missing the big picture. This means they aren't listening.
And here is what should be avoided if we want to be active listeners. Avoid being distracted. Avoid asking about unimportant details. Also, avoid interrupting the speaker. Avoid topping the story. Avoid pretending to listen. And avoid not making eye contact. Be polite and be an active listener. Well done. And now it's time to watch the video. Here is the bit.ly link. Copy it into your browser. While watching the video, please write down tips on how to improve listening skills, how to become an active listener. Pause this video lesson now and watch the video. Let's summarize the tips. Pay attention, nod and smile from time to time, paraphrase, and ask questions. These simple tips will make us active listeners. This will improve our communication skills. Great! We are approaching the end of our lesson today, and it's time to put theory into practice. Here is an email you received from your pen friend Sarah. Please reply to this email. Of course, you cannot use all the strategies of good listening. You cannot nod and smile, and you cannot pay attention. But what I would like you to use is paraphrasing and asking questions. Now read this message very carefully and decide whether Sarah is asking for your advice or she just needed a shoulder to cry on. This will determine how you will formulate your reply. I hope you have learned a lot in our lesson today. Before we say goodbye to each other, please write your exit card into your notebook. Write down 3 things you learned in this lesson, 2 things you can do, and 1 question that you might still have. Thank you for joining us today. I hope it was fun for you. Until the next time, bye.